we know how good Rigo Ventrone is, but just in your words, like, what are you guys losing with a talent like that at the start of the year?
Well, first I have to say I'm extremely upset for him. He put in so much hard work this entire offseason, and since I've been here, I feel like I lost, you know, I feel like it's my son that got hurt and how much time he's put in and the work. I just appreciate him so much, and his wife Cynthia and their baby Bali. Like, I really feel for him. It's going to be extremely hard you're not going to replace a guy like that. He does so much for our team, not only on the field but off the field. He's a great person, a great leader, and just upset for him and his family.
What were your emotions when you saw him go down?
I was a little confused, honestly. I wasn't sure if it was like, at first I thought I didn't see who it was, and I thought it was just like the heat or something like that. But a lot of things go through your head at that point. So as far as and back to your question, the impact, obviously, he's our kickoff specialist. He controls field position in the punt game. He's an extremely talented holder. So, we're going to do our best to not replace, but, to get something that guys are going to have to step up. So.
Colts have been known for special teams play for the last few years. Over the last couple preseason games, some of the kickoff returns have looked kind of questionable. Could you give us a little insight on what's going on there?
Yeah, we're playing a lot of young players, and they're learning the hard way. And we have to improve on our leverage early in the down, tracking the returner. So we made those corrections this week, and hopefully you'll see the results this week against Tampa. Last week we played a lot of young guys, and we're going to get some more veterans out there this week. So hopefully we put a good product out there against Tampa.
What is the plan for replacement of Rigo?
We worked out a number of punters early today before practice. They're getting physical, and our personnel department, Chris and Frank, are going to make a decision hopefully soon so we can get those guys with our kickers as fast as we can.
Who stands out to you?
We had a number of guys in. I don't want to speak out of, the hierarchy or however you want to categorize that. But
Sorry that you would want the punter to be the holder too, or might somebody else step in on the team?
Yeah, nowadays a lot of times you don't see quarterbacks being the primary holder. So you need that position to be the holder because there's so much.
You can do that in Baltimore last year?
We did. Yeah. So
Have you done that before?
Not that you're going to do it for.
No, we're always going to have a backup snapper and holder ready that are on the roster. Fortunately for us, Matt has held in a game before. Naheem obviously had held last year. We developed a few young players on our roster that can snap. So you always want to have on-roster depth at those positions because it's so critical in a game.
Rod has kicked off in games before, right?
Yeah, so when Rigo had to miss 2 years ago with the cancer, Rod kicked off in both of those games. It was Houston and Vegas, and did a pretty good job. He did a pretty good job, and he's improved a lot since he's been here. Rigo does it because he's the best one we have. So we're always going to put the best players on the field to give us the best advantage to win the game.
In the kicking battle, has Hot Rod done enough to keep his job?
Rod's been really consistent throughout the preseason and in games and in training camp. He's done a good job. He really has. He's done a good job. There hasn't been a lot of variation on his kicks. He's been consistent. His operation times have been pretty solid overall. I think Jake has talent. He's explosive. Has hit a little bit lower of a percentage in practice, but I think both guys are talented. We have a team period tomorrow. We'll see how that goes, and then obviously into the game with the play time, we're going to discuss that later on.
What are your thoughts on some of these young linebackers who are probably going to spend some time on special teams like JoJo and Sterling that have showed out?
Yeah, so I was talking with one of our assistant coaches, Brian Decker, and he said this is the most coaching I've had to do since 2018 when we had Matt Adams and Zaire and George and all those young guys. There's a lot of young guys out there, right? So you got to bring those guys along as fast as you can. Every rep is important. The walkthrough reps, the team reps, the pre-practice reps. So we're trying to get those guys as many looks and put them in a position to succeed, and then to be able to play in as many spots as we can, depending on how the roster shakes out.
Where have you seen the improvement from Blankenship over this camp and since he's came into the league?
I think he's just been more consistent overall with really the percentages that he's hitting, and he's been able to hit from longer distances. The other day we had, I think, 4 kicks over 50 in that end-of-game situation period that we did, and he hit 3 or 4, which was really good to see.
You're looking at the saw Trevor Denbo do some punts in practice. Is that just like his background or what?
So when I was evaluating Trevor, in the offseason, I looked at his bio, and it said that he had punted for an entire season at SMU. So I figured if we didn't have a punter in practice, we may as well see what he has, in case we ever get in that predicament again. You see Justin Reed kicking field goals in Kansas City, so the more you can do, the better, right?
Trevor's done a good job coverage-wise too, though, right?
Yeah, Trevor's done a good job. He actually, I think, leads the league in special teams tackles right now, over 2 games, whatever that means. But no, he's done a good job. He's doing, playing hard. Someone had a question over here.
You're looking at the punter, and I know you got placement and distance and hang time. Where do you prioritize that whenever you're trying to find a solution?
I mean, there's so many factors that go into it. Like you said, the consistency's, the number one thing. We're a directional punt team. Obviously, the hang times pair with the distance. You don't want to hit the ball and outkick your coverage. So there's a lot of things that factor into it. And then, dependability, right? You don't want to throw a guy out there that doesn't have too much experience, too much inexperience, I guess you could say.
But again, I assume you've talked with Rigo since he knew. How's he holding up? Can you share what his mindset is?
Yeah, I talked to him after practice, and obviously you guys can understand he was in a bad spot. I called him last night when I got home, and he sounded a little bit better. I saw him today. He looked a lot better. I think it kind of has hit him. Look, like I said, it's unfortunate. I feel extremely upset for him because he put in so much hard work for this season. I know he and Luke were looking forward to playing on this team because we all feel really good about where the roster's at.
Well, can you, last question, speak a little bit to him replacing Pat and everything that kind of comes with Pat, and just his punting experience, Rigo's, wasn't that extensive. Correct me if I'm wrong, but not only did he come in here and replace him, but he's punted at an extraordinarily high level.
Yeah, he has. He's done a great job. I mean, his rookie year was outstanding. I mean, he's been really good since. And he did all 3 in college, and I think once you can specialize in one, you're just going to ascend that higher of a level. Is Pat McAfee available? Are you guys saying? I saw him last week. He looks like he's in decent shape.
I think you have to pay him $35 million to get over his salary.
That'd be pretty good to have a TV radio show paired with being able to actually play.
He can wear his muscle shirt.
And he's a tough guy. He's from Pittsburgh like me, so